Hello, this is Magdala with a time for God. Hope your day is going beautiful. Once again, it's a privilege and a blessing to be here to talk to you about God and the importance of seeking Him. And that's what I want us to talk about this time. We've been talking about seeking God in different ways we can seek God. But now, I want us to talk about why it's important to seek God, especially now. For starters, it's important because this is a chosen generation. And it doesn't change the fact that your lack of knowledge could cost you your life. Regardless of the fact that this generation is chosen by God, if you do not have knowledge and understand how to go about your life, you could lose the privilege of being chosen. As we read the Bible, where we get our knowledge and wisdom to understand how to dive into this world, you find that people who got these things earlier were able to make great decisions and do right by God. One of such persons that really warms my heart is Daniel. You see that in the beginning, after they had been taken as captives in Babylon from Jerusalem, he particularly, because there were four, but the Bible speaks about him, Daniel, purposing in his heart not to defile himself. Why? He wanted to seek God's face. He wanted to be right with God. The Bible shows that all through his life, God blessed him. Daniel never went up and came down, went up and came down like the rest of us usually do. And sometimes it's not because we're not blessed, but because we don't realize these things. We don't realize the how, that these things, the things we do today, they influence the quality of life we have, the quality of relationship we have with our God. We found ourselves into a place where it is acceptable to think that God is supposed to understand. So because we tell ourselves that, God can understand, we do not make a conscientious effort to find out the truth about God and what He accepts. And that doesn't change the fact that we still do pay for our ignorance. So today I want us to talk about another way of seeking God. Seeking God by getting to know Him. John 17:3 says, our everlasting life depends on us getting to know God and His Son, Jesus Christ. There is no way around it. Why is that important? You cannot serve God right if you do not know who He is. You cannot please someone you know nothing about. But one thing I want to say before I leave you today, is in Daniel chapter 12. The Bible shows that at the end, even though Daniel stayed in the king palace, different regimes came and took over. He stayed there up to the fourth regime after Nebuchadnezzar, his son, then Darius, and then Cyrus. Before Daniel was old, then God sent an angel to let Daniel know that he was going to rest. And when he gets up, he will receive his reward. So all that good stuff that happened to Daniel in Daniel's lifetime wasn't Daniel's reward. No. Daniel's reward is still awaiting him. So it is with you and I. It's not too difficult to serve God. It's not too difficult to make a conscientious decision that you will do your very best. God is not asking for too much. He's asking for your very best. Not your relative best, but your personal very best. Because in John 4:23, He says He's a spirit, And those who worship him must worship him with spirit and truth. That's John 4:24. Verse 23 of that same scripture states that the hour has come. Now, this is it. When the true worshipers will worship the Father, not the way they wish, not the way they want him to understand, but will with spirit and with truth. It goes on to state that those are the kinds of people God is looking for. So, go on seeking God by doing what you know is right. And there's one more thing you can do to show that you seek God. Share this video. There are people who need this information. People who really need to understand the value of serving God right. So let's seek God by praying, by being kind, by paying attention to the lowly people who will not be able to question what we did, or there will be no repercussions because we hurt them or helped them, and diving into getting to know who God is and what he requires. Also, remember to share this video. Do have you a wonderful rest of the day. This is Magdala with a Time for God.